being dominant, think about what the left leg is doing. So tell me what the left outside leg should be doing in a shoulder and run. Right, and what was it doing? It was forward and off the horse. Now, if you've had any Western training, I don't know if you ever not, but if you have, in Western they teach to open the door for the horse to move there. So you'll use the left leg and you take the right leg off the horse to allow the horse to move there. The only problem with that is that with bigger movement and in terms of thinking about a specific number of steps and bending, this doesn't work. Okay, so you see that this is what you were doing. You were like, okay, move here, and then you were a little bit this way. I'm exaggerating. So what you told me was exactly right. You just have to remind yourself about it, because if this leg is off the horse, number one, it makes you sit wrong. Number two, if you need to bend the horse and or balance the horse, you surprise them when you put that leg back on. So we try to feel as though we have two legs, two seat bones, two hands, in balance and influencing the horse all the time. Okay? So the reason I start to make a point of that is that's a very common problem, and it's something that most riders aren't aware of. You knew what you should do, but you weren't quite aware that that leg was really coming off of him. So your outside leg replaces the rail. It's hard on the 4-year-old right off the rail, but it's important because then he says, oh, okay, well, that's my line. Yes. And if you want to talk a little bit, he's like, oh, wow, that's fine too. 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 seat bones. Sounds simplistic, doesn't it? It's really hard to do. Really hard. But the horse can't balance without our help and influence. The very best riders do this stuff naturally. You don't even have to think about it. There you go. See, then you start to have bend. That's great. That's fine. Don't go for too much angle, okay? So you see the difference? You see how he was crossing in front and actually bending a little bit? Good boy. Excellent. Do one more. Just stay a little bit off the rail. It's more of an exercise, and I want her off the rail because it's too close to you, it's too dusty for you now. So yes, the right leg is dominant, but the left leg is there bound. Yeah, that's super. Super. You should be into the left rein now. Is it? Good. Good. And straight. Keep your right hip angle open. Posting trot diagonal, ask for a little lengthening. Keep your chin back over your neck. Oh, easy. Not too much. And back. It's lovely. Keep your left thumb on top, shorten your left leg. Next corner line, shorten your left. Cindy's very good. Super rider. Not too much angle. There you go. Left thumb on top. Shorten the left leg another half an inch. Keep a little bend in your left thumb. This is important. Thumbs are straight. The wrists lock up. You want to have a little bend in your thumb to keep the wrists flexible. Good. And better. Good boy. Good. Now leg yield from the corner across the diagonal. You'd never know this horse is 4 years old. Never. And look over your right shoulder and see where his haunches are. Look back at his right hip. There. Look at his right hip. It's okay. And track right. And repeat from the left leg. So it's not that you want to collapse to the right, but you just need to know if his haunches are trailing or not. Change your posting diagonal. Over. Over. Look at his left hip. Keep going. Over. Oh, nice horse. Track left. And again from the right leg. Change your diagonal. So you were right to change it back to the right, but if you're going to leg yield off the track, you have to post in the direction of the travel. So change your diagonal. Good. Good. Over. Good. Over. Track right. Shorten your ends just a little bit. Change your diagonal, leg live off the rail. Step a little bit to the right. Look over, look at his left hip. Yeah, good. Lovely. Track left, diagonal lengthen. Your chin up. And back. Walk. So in a lengthening, they have to open up their frame and their stride without speed, which you're doing. So, looks great. You've got a few little things. You tend to post in one diagonal both directions all the time. Today. Today. You've got to adjust your reins a little bit more. Feel as though you don't have to pull back to maintain contact on the inside rein. Think a little bit about right shoulder control, but really, you're doing great. And I don't say that very often. You don't know me that well. I don't, because that's not me. I mean, I don't just flatter people. That doesn't work in the long run. Now, some people do. Cindy does not. But for me, what I try to do with people is tell them what I want to see when I'm judging. And I'm judging every weekend all over the country. So it really behooves me to, be truthful and say, okay, here's what I want to see in the show ring. Because if I don't, then they go to the show and are disappointed.
Can we practice a couple of his walk canter?
Sure.
Meter circles. Tell me if I'm doing it.
I will. Let them walk just a circle in a long rein. And then actually what I want to see is your stretchy trot circle both directions. Okay? It's a really nice horse. It's interesting, and a lot of people are missing the boat and not looking at Arabian sport horses for a dressage horse because they're more reasonably priced now. And I mean, a while ago they weren't, when they had the big bubble. But now it's different. Sheila Varian, of course, has working horses. So when I asked you whether I know the stallion or not, if I know the breeder, it makes a big difference. There are some people in the Arabian world that breed using horses, and then there are others that breed hothouse flowers. And but I was so impressed at the Arabian Sport Horse Nationals at the quality of the horses. Actually, I got to tell you, across the country, the quality of horses has come way up, and the quality of riding is not keeping pace. It's disappointing. Shorten your reins. Your reins are a little bit long. All right, now so I love the upward. I didn't love the downward. Too much inside rein, too strong with the inside hand. You're going to have to be able to almost this direction counter, flex him a little bit, rock him back. And for now, just tell him, whoa, what difference does it make? And you want to do a little bit of this. As he gets stronger, it'll get easier. Are you going to show this year?
A little bit.
Maybe? Okay. That's fine. You just have to control the right shoulder. Flex him a little bit to the right. Good. Whoa, pet him. Okay, you're done with that. Go the other way. So the only thing I want you to be a little careful about, you're going to get one little short lecture. Don't be in a big rush with this one. This is a very nice horse. He has a wonderful brain. He's pretty. He can move. He's really nice. He's 4 years old. No rush. I mean, look how calm he is. Here you are, you're in a new place. I mean, he's really nice.
Yes, this is my first indoor arena.
Yeah, well, then he's remarkable. We need to clone him. He says, yeah, you do. I'm wonderful. I'm a nice horse. You just don't be in a rush, okay? Because there's no, I guess it depends on, it's really interesting. Dressage breeds obsessive training. It does. And it all depends on what your goals are. For me, in terms of where I am now, I want to have a good time. So I don't find myself, really pushing, but it's certainly there. Good. Shorten your reins. Shorten the right rein. Keep your right hand more in front of you. left rein, not right, and pet him. He's good. He's not bad. He just has to get strong enough that he can sit a little bit without feeling as though he gets a little bit short in the neck and dropped in the back, but that'll come, okay? So what you do at this point is you say, you just try to make it a positive experience for the horse and then get him strong enough with your shoulder in, starting a little bit of counter canter, very easy, just making shallow loops. You build him up a little bit so that as you sit up and half halt, he can carry and not stiffen, okay? But he's not strong enough yet. I mean, they can't be. You haven't had enough time on him for him to be strong enough. What a good boy.
You want a stretchy circle?
Yeah, want to see it both directions. So the stretchy trot circle was the first time a movement was put into the test to check the correctness of the training of the horses. It was a new movement. People schooled it, but they didn't show it. So they put it in the test to make the riders train more correctly. Good. Good. Keep your right thumb on top. There you go. Don't let him fall in. So he stretches beautifully. Doesn't have to be down by the knees. It's very important to understand where they can be. In terms of assessing the stretch, if he's near the elbow and reaching over his back, that's enough. Okay? Most horses are not built. They can't put their nose in the dirt and maintain any semblance of balance. But what you've got to watch, Terry, is that when you stretch him to the right, you keep thinking a slight leg yield off the right leg. Okay? Change your diagonal. Good. Now stretch him down. So he was with Cindy Jackson for several months earlier. I'm very proud of Cindy. I taught her for a long time, and she's a very good trainer and rider. Yeah, it's fine. And walk. Okay, so thinking a little bit about ambidexterity on your part, okay? Really thinking that you're almost riding a little leg yielding versus overbending the neck, okay? And I agree in terms of transitions. The leg yielding is a little immature, but he's 4 years old. That'll come. Well, what'll happen is you'll start to feel as though you get more reach out of the shoulder as you're able to increase the angle, and the haunches won't trail. The reason I was having you look back was just to know where the haunches were.
Were they trailing too much?
Well, initially, yes, but then they were better. When I had you look back, you're like, oh, okay. When you look back, you see that the haunches are right there. Now, if someone really collapses towards that dominant leg, I don't have them do that. I actually have them do the other thing. I'll have them look back the other side so that they get their weight in the correct direction. But you weren't collapsed, so that was okay. Think about 2 legs to shape him, okay? Because if we ask him to bend and the outside leg isn't there, the haunches swing out, or you just don't get that contraction. When they bend, they contract the muscles on the inside, stretch the outside, and then you start to, in your shoulder and specifically, see more crossing in front, okay? I think he's going in the right direction. I think he's lovely. I'll just caution you again, don't be in a big hurry. It's really nice.
We don't have great big FEI plans.
Okay, well then there is no rush, and feel as though you expose them to as much as possible. It's very good for them mentally to, get out of the ring and do a little cross training. In dressage riding, we don't cross train much anymore. We used to. Good. Well, that's probably why he's so adaptable and has such a good head in his shoulders. A lot of dressage riders don't trail ride. They're not comfortable with it. I get it. If you don't, in Colorado we have a lot of rocky areas. We don't have a lot of sandy areas. I know you do out here. But in Denver anyway, there's so much traffic. We're pretty limited where we can go. But
We're blessed.
yeah, you are. So he's lovely. I don't see,
Thank you very much.
I really don't see any obstacles at this point. It's as much about you and your coordination as it is about him.